Like to call to order the City of Belton Planning Commission meeting for March 5th. Could we have the roll call, please?
Yep, Commissioner Monahan Bass.
Here.
Commissioner Crate.
Here.
Councilmember Pryan.
Here.
Mayor Larkey. Commissioner Wilson. Commissioner Walton.
Here.
Commissioner McDonough. And Chair McPherson.
Here. Right. First item we have this evening on our agenda would be the approval of minutes from our February 6th Planning Commission session. Those have been distributed. Are there any corrections, comments, updates that need to be made on those, or is there a motion to accept as?
I'll make a motion to approve the February 6th Planning Committee meeting. Second.
All right.
Second.
Motion and second. Any edits that need to be made? Seeing none, all in favor of approval, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. So this evening, we do have one item, which is a non-public hearing, and this is for the presentation of the 2025 Capital Improvement Program, or the CIP. And Director?
Yep, in the packet was a copy of the Capital Improvements Program for fiscal year 2025, which starts on April 1st of this year and ends March 31st, 2025. So most of these items, there's some that are infrastructure and some are just general improvements. So I'll go through those. I'll highlight some of the, I'll go ahead and go through everything, but I'll probably highlight more of those that I think are more of interest to the commission from the development side. Some things like the senior center, there is a kitchen remodel proposed there. City Hall, there are some HVAC units that are proposed to be installed to replace broken units. The annex, there are some roof repairs and sewer repairs that are proposed. Building improvements to the jail. One thing of interest to the commission is the Unified Development Code 2024 update. Cost is $100,000. This would update the UDC after the comprehensive plan update is complete, which we are anticipating being complete sometime in early summer. End of June, early July is our current estimation of completion for that. So immediately after that, we will, part of the implementation of the comprehensive plan is the zoning code update, where we will be reviewing all zoning codes, subdivision regulations, to bring those into compliance with the new comprehensive plan, to make sure that we are getting the development product and the future development standards that have been proposed under the comprehensive plan. That would include a professional consultant assisting staff with that, so there would be an RFP process for that. Some of the work will be done in-house by Jenna and I and other staff with the review of and assistance of that consultant. For capital projects, specifically related to streets, there are some pretty significant projects on here. Some of them are currently already in the process of starting. That includes the Route 58 and Powell Parkway Peculiar Drive adjustment, which includes removing portion of Peculiar Drive, the traffic signal at 58 and Peculiar, as well as connections 173rd Street, where it currently ends at Cunningham Parkway, down to Mullen Road, and as well as just recently added was the Larkspur Powell Parkway connection to 58. So that will help with some access management throughout that part of the city in a pretty heavily congested area. Mullen Road south from the railroad tracks down to Cambridge is currently under construction. That project is expected to be completed under this fiscal year. And then also a design contract for the design of the North Cass Parkway connection. That would be where it currently ends at Peculiar Drive, just west of the interchange, and that would be the connection to South Mullen Road. The reconstruction of North Scott, which is currently underway, that's included in this fiscal year. And then just general paving and curb improvements, there is over $8 million of repairs there. Some more recent projects that have been added over the last month or so include there was some leftover funding from MARC and MoDOT that has been, we've been able to take advantage of because we've already been designing the Marquee Parkway connection where it currently ends behind Hobby Lobby and Ross Dress for Less. That connection will be made to North Scott and align with Marquee Road there to the west. That's an estimated $4 million project. The RAISE grant, there is currently a $1.5 million request grant to study infrastructure development related to railroad improvements and economic development on the west side of the city. And so that grant will help fund what types of infrastructure needs are maybe needed to accommodate those expansions in the future that have been proposed by the railroad. And then, as I mentioned, there was $400,000 for the North Cass Parkway study. We ended up potentially accessing additional funding to actually fund that improvement after the design has been completed in this fiscal year. So that's an estimated $5.5 million project, which again would extend North Cass Parkway to South Mullen Road. And then the last infrastructure project there is Hargis Gardens, a little over $3 million for that. And that includes culverts along Mill, Sunrise, and Park Avenue, as well as connections of the storm sewer to 58 Highway. Hayden, did you have anything else, any other comments or clarifications on any of those projects?
No, I think you did pretty well.
Related to street, wastewater, and water, there's some infrastructure or facility upgrades at the Public Works facility, the street and stormwater preservation program for street and storm, rebuilding of the sidewalk along Cedar Street, which is that area around the railroad crossing where the sidewalk is at a 45-degree angle in the ditch.
Don't that also include that culvert going underneath 58, that project?
Which project?
The railroad sidewalk up here. I thought Greg said that included also the culvert going underneath 58 to the other side.
I
think there's some coordination with. I think there's some coordination with Smoky Hill on that needs to happen, or I'm not sure where we're at on that one.
All right.
I think this particular item is primarily just for the sidewalk over the railroad crossing and maybe a little bit of the between Commercial and Main Street. There's ground penetrating radar for Public Works crews. Some other vehicle and equipment purchases are on here. For the wastewater fund, again, the Public Works facility, some improvements there. A number of other rehabilitation of the pump station. Olson Acres, that's a fairly significant design and construction of a sanitary sewer line for the Olson Acres neighborhood. And that is something that the city has been working with MDNR and getting that addressed. Some other software upgrades, and again, some additional equipment upgrades for wastewater. And then some generators for some of the lift stations, and again, a number of other equipment that is past its useful life that needs to be replaced. For water, generally the same projects related to the Public Works facility. That's just been split across all those funds, the ground penetrating radar, and additional equipment that needs to be replaced. And more equipment and software upgrades. And then the water tower maintenance, the painting for the water tower, and I believe that is the Marquee Road water tower that needed to be repainted. For golf, there is a repaving of the cart paths, some cart barn improvements, and then signage as part of the city's wayfinding signage plan that is currently included in this budget. Golf and parks were the only ones that put that in their budget. The rest of the money is coming out of economic development, but that would be for replacing some of the wayfinding signage around the city, and with our new branding, that would also replace some of those old signs that point to downtown Main Street that are
They look
pretty-
like they're for
pretty-
Halloween.
pretty badly faded right now. So those would be replaced with some new updated signage that also highlights some parks and some other facilities in the city. And that's just the first phase. We would like to eventually build off of that into other parts of the city as well. For parks, there are restroom and parking lot upgrades proposed for Cleveland Lake, as well as the West Belton surface playground. Markey Park sunshades are proposed. They've already started on the first phase of that. This would be the funding for the second phase. There's an HVAC unit upgrade at, I believe that's for High Blue. Some other just general parking lot upgrades. Again, I believe that one is for High Blue as well. And then High Blue is proposing a new digital monument sign out front along Mullen Road that will help with them to be able to advertise not only for their events, but also their sponsorships. Some mower upgrades and some other improvements, equipment to help with painting the turf fields, and then some slide renovations for, I'm not sure which park that is, but one of the parks will have some slide improvements. The flooring for Kids Corner at High Blue is in there, and then one of the, I think, relatively inexpensive projects, but an exciting project that's on here is the Cleveland Country View West Belton Connection Trail. So that will connect West Belton, or the West Belton Park to Cleveland Lake. And then some other improvements within High Blue, and then restroom countertops being replaced at Memorial Station. The crossing nets and the removable stairs, those are both related to the pool at High Blue, and then some picnic tables, and then there's the wayfinding signage again. So that is the capital improvements program for fiscal year 2025. Are there any questions on any of the projects?
Any questions for the director? I have one, and I don't know how it ties into here or not. I was going down 163rd the other day, and by Kentucky Trail School, there's a lot of pipe laying right along the side of the road. What project is that for? It looks like culvert pipe or storm water pipe or something. Is that part of the stormwater improvements? Close to Kentucky and 163rd.
Right for the brick house, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know that was closed had some lane closures recently. I think that's for either a sewer or stormwater project.
I know there's some work. That house right there at the corner, I think Kelly mentioned the brick house, has at their driveway, there are some barricades there on either side of the driveway, but the pipe is over on the side by the school, and I just didn't know if that was part of the Kentucky upgrade or not.
That's some work, I believe. I think I know what you're talking about now. I think that's something we're doing in-house.
Okay.
Some of our crews are kind of sending the storm sewer where it should have gone originally.
Okay. I was just curious. So, thank you. Other questions concerning the capital improvement plan as it's been presented?
I'll make a motion, we approve the capital improvement plan.
Okay, have a motion.
Second.
Second. Any other comments? Questions? All right, could we have the roll call, please?
All right, Commissioner Crate,
Aye.
Councilmember Pryan,
Aye.
Commissioner McDonough.
Aye.
Commissioner Monahan Bass,
Aye.
Commissioner Wilson is not here, Commissioner Walton,
Aye.
Mayor Larkey,
Yes.
and Chair McPherson.
Aye.
Okay.
It looks like we have a busy, looking at what we see, there's a lot going on in town, which is great, and it looks like our city departments are going to be very busy.
There will be a lot of construction zones for a bit, but it'll be good when it's done.
Absolutely.
And that will go before the city council for first reading at their meeting next week and a final reading the last meeting in March.
All right, very good. All right. Next item we have is the comprehensive plan update.
We do have a steering committee meeting next Monday, and that will be at 6 o'clock at Meet Me on Main. That meeting will be talking about the future land use map and the sub-area plans associated with that. And then I believe they're also going to try to get some of the transportation chapter, and I believe it was the housing chapter. There were 2 chapters that they were going to try to also have, but I think the main focus there will be on the future land use maps and the sub-area plans, get those all ironed out, and then move forward with some of the more specific chapters on that will be coming in April and May.
Sounds good. And there is, now is the meeting tomorrow open for the public? I should have asked ahead of time with the universities.
Yeah, I was going
presentation.
to include that in the director's report. So yes, the UMK Studio project, I did send an email out to all of the commissioners about that. So they are working on a student project at the southeast corner of North Scott and Turner Road, which includes the 48 acres there, partially developed. That includes the couple of office buildings there on the corner, family cabin, Heart and Hand, the Masonic Lodge, and the mobile home park that's there, as well as the vacant ground along Turner Road and the other parcels along North Scott. So it's an opportunity for them to get some experience looking at a site and and analyzing its existing conditions and potentially what it could be in the future, and you know, looking at the context of the site and what makes sense there. So that's something that they will be presenting their existing conditions analysis tomorrow at 3 o'clock here in the council chambers. And if you're unable to attend, we'll still go ahead and send out their presentation to the commission afterwards, just so you can see what they've looked at. The plan there is for them to come back either in late April or early May to the commission and present a final conceptual plan to them. And as part of that, I did want to check, since they do have a graduation date in early May, our May 7th Planning Commission meeting is maybe a little bit too late for them, but the earlier meeting, I think April 16th, may be a little too early for them. We do have a fifth Tuesday there, so I did want to see if there was any opposition or concerns with or scheduling conflict with April 30th, having a special commission meeting just for them to be able to present to you.
Should we do a just kind of a raise of hand who
Sure,
would be available
and I can
on that?
send out if you know of any conflicts immediately. If not, I'll certainly send out an email to everybody. Since it's not a formal vote or anything, it's not a conceptual plan that's going to be endorsed by the city or adopted. It's not a necessity that there is a quorum, but ideally we would like to at least have 5 members here.
I'm good.
I'm available.
Okay. And then a few other things on the director's report. We do have a meeting on March 19th. That meeting will have public hearings for the View project, which is the 2nd Street project back here just behind the Annex building. That proposal includes the construction of 11 single-family homes. We did have a neighborhood meeting a few weeks back about that. So we do anticipate that there will be residents in attendance for that project. So if anybody is unable to attend, please let us know as soon as possible. But hope everybody will be able to make it for that project. And then the February development report is on the website now. We did have 104 new permits issued in February, which was the most permits we've had since July 2020. And of those permits, 47 were new housing units. So
Nice.
46 single-family homes in Autumn Ridge and Tradition subdivision, and then 1 upper-story apartment at 324 Main Street. So lots of construction going on.
Lots
And
happening.
Madison missed it all.
Are you saying that they all saved it until she was off?
I
and then,
think, yeah, we think so.
Just so that or did she tell him to wait?
Yeah, should wait till next month.
All right. So next meeting, March 19. Any other items that you have, Director or staff?
That is all.
Anything from the
Second.
motion to adjourn? And second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?